Cornhole MC mentioned a while ago that numbering the updates will be changing from the 1.21.x thing to something else. What that means updating to 1.22 or some other naming system for updates, we are expecting, at the very least for the foreseeable future, for game drops to be the way forward. And if we are going to have game drops for the foreseeable future, what is the best way on actually doing it? Well, I think there's really one main thing the developers should look out for: timing. Timing of releasing an update or a game drop is very, very crucial, especially when considering many players, many people across the world have different times and moments where they are off school, off work, on school, on work, and whatnot. And from what we've seen so far, that is definitely the case. And so far, for the most part, they have actually been pretty consistent and pretty good with how big an update should be and when the bigger one should release. Bundles of Bravery, a pretty small update released at a time where most people were working or at school. Where Gardens Awakens, for instance, one of the largest game drops we've seen so far, has released at a time where most people can actually enjoy it. And this drop overall was very impactful, not only because, again, it was one of the largest game drops we have seen thus far, but also because most people could actually enjoy it and experience it as it actually came out. If Minecraft consistently does something like this, where they do keep in mind as to when players can actually play, these major game drops, which are actually much bigger than the smaller ones, would have that much more of an impact. And the following game drop, they were actually still pretty consistent with it. The Spring to Life drop was, all things considered, not a huge game drop or anything like that. Didn't really add any major changes or anything like that. But it was still a pretty moderate size update to the point where if you were busy with real life things, you wouldn't necessarily feel like you're missing out on anything like that. The one time I do think Mojang did slip up in how they actually released updates and when they released the smaller and bigger ones is with Chase the Skies. The Happy Gas is a fantastic addition, but I think it was just released at the wrong time, considering most people are off for the holidays over summer, and typically they might expect maybe a bigger update or something like that, and all they get is one single feature, maybe vibrant visuals and a couple other things, but for the most part, that's pretty much it. If Mojang really wants to excite the player base when it comes to the new game drops, they have to correlate people being off from work and school to the size of the update that releases at that time. That's not to say that there isn't any excitement to any type of game drop. I'm just saying, if you want to capitalize on it, then make sure the bigger ones release when more people are off and more people are actually able to enjoy it, rather than the smaller ones that release over summer and get some excitement, but maybe not as much as we could have gotten. Am I overthinking this? Maybe, but this is just something that's on my mind. But I'd love to hear what's on your mind. Leave it down below in the comments, but for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.